Now yesterday, there's a war going on. Death is trying to take life, and life is stronger than death. But people believe that death is stronger than life. But we know that life is stronger than death. So life is the road, you know.
And you have, as I say, a whole force that does not want this to happen, that wants to change the force in the consciousness of this planet, and wants to definitely keep the originals asleep, dead, dumbed down, comatose, brainwashed, inoculated, vaccinated, and encrypted. So original people were those that operated on a very high frequency. They were from the mind and the highest force of the Creator. They did not have physical bodies. They had what they call chakra centers or energy wheels, and they were operating on the plane of angels or very high vibrancies. Our planet has gone lower and lower, based on, again, an interference caused by people who came from a whole different planetary system, who were very jealous of what was happening here, and because of a big goof that was made, had the idea to come through a portal and could come into this planetary means. It was a big mess that was made. That is not time enough to go into that, make any other kind of sense, but I do have tapes on that called, I have a whole series of tapes called The World Within. It starts the world within here, and it goes on to other planets and so on like that. But that's the overall view that's here now. It's a battle now against those who had souls or had parts of the Creator within them, which was called a soul, and were original, versus those that were hybrids, those that are mankind, those that are human. All of those mean different things, and they now incorporate an existence here on this earth, either in the air on the earth, on the surface, or inside the earth itself, what they call the hells. The Helen means to cover. Areas that have been covered over that we're not aware of, that they made us dumb to because they don't want us to ever wake up, that there's different other life forms that live within the bowels of earth as well as on the surface. The pineal gland is up in the hypothalamus. It's a chamber that looks like a Turkish saddle, which is a very high saddle. Both the pineal and pituitary gland are located in the hypothalamus. The pineal gland is your gland of youth, although the thymus gland is the organ that works with a different chakra. The pineal gland is your gland of psychic ability. The pineal gland is where your melanin comes from. And all of these things mean that you are a part, you have within you the capability of becoming an original soul, because it means that you can still vibrate with the resonances of the planet and any other place you go. Melanin can exist anywhere in the cosmos by my limited understanding, and I haven't even been off the earth as far as this incarnation goes, but I'm simply saying melanin is an adaptogen. It's ubiquitous. When you have melanin, you can adapt to any climate, any place, anything, any sun, or worlds without sun, because it is an adaptogen. This is why they used, I shouldn't even go there. They've used melanin in many experiments that are very awful to think about, because melanin is granulated. You cannot break it down. The more you break it down, the smaller it gets, and it still works as the same as the whole. The part works as part as a whole. And as a consequence, whenever you have melanin, you're not supposed to take any kind of drug or any kind of thing that's synthetic, because it originates and lets your pituitary gland create anything that's necessary for you to stay alive, because it senses everything. It is in all your cells. This is why they say, this is why a person with a lot of melanin, and the darker, the denser the grade of melanin, the stronger it is. That's why basketball and football players, even with helmets on, which is covering their eardrums and their semicircular canals, if they are around long enough, they can sense somebody's coming up behind them. They can sense behind their back, because they're seeing with each cell of the body. Each cell now is alive and working as a matrix of the whole. So we have lost that. So when you have melanin, you cannot do things that are synthetic, because you're as non-synthetic as you can make it. That's why you have melanin. And every time you do something that's artificial and synthetic, you're dulling it down. That's why when the darker you are and the more you take alcohol and drugs, the stupider and crazier you act, because it's taking away your connection with the Creator to bring it down to the lowest plane you can think of, which is a drugged out plane. So pretty much melanin and the pineal gland are one and the same. The pineal gland makes the melanin, the hypothalamus holds the melanin in the pineal gland, and that's what they call the seat of the soul. These inoculations and vaccinations and all the rest of the stuff. You shouldn't. If you have melanin, it's actually a sin if a sin is to undo to a soul that would make that soul less than what it should be. If that is the case, that was a sin. They're still giving these These babies in these hospitals for 3 daggone days. I don't like to curse, I'll be cool. 3 daggone days, and they give them 7 shots, including hepatitis C. Why would you give hepatitis C shot to a newborn baby when it's for heterosexual, homosexual, promiscuous, and active adults? I mean, this is ridiculous. But if you understand they want to put serum and vaccines, and they want to put venom and animal venom, and whoever else knows, probably these chips in them too, so they can control them because they're afraid of these crystals being born now. We are now going to be masters of whatever is going to happen. If you do wrong, you will pay by getting wrong. If you do right, you will pay by getting right. It's a matter of going within and following that still, small voice, that tinnitus roar, that sequel that lets you know that things are all okay. If you go in fear, you will get fear. You say, well, it's fearful things out there. Yes, but why are they fearful? Because they're trying to scare you to stop you from ascending, because soon you'll be their master. And they also know if they have no souls, they will cease to exist. You have a soul. The worst thing can happen, you die of the physical to be born again into the super-physical, which is going to be better off anyway. So you have no fears. The fear is if you don't do the best within you until somebody shines a light on you, and you lie and cheat and steal and kill others, and then when somebody gets on you, you say you don't know how it happened. The biggest thing now is, like Michael Jackson said, the man in the mirror.
Now yesterday, there's a war going on.